In 2025, Apple announced an investment. They declared a $600 billion campaign, but it wasn't aimed at selling more iPhones or satisfying shareholders. It was about something far bigger. Apple is building a technological fortress designed to rewire America for the AI era and cut off its fiercest rival. Patriotism has nothing to do with this investment. Well, maybe a bit. But the point here is control. Absolute, unshakable control of the future of artificial intelligence in America. This isn't about made in America. This is about control in America. Control by Apple. So, what exactly is Apple building? Why now? And why does it have everyone, from Google to Nvidia to lawmakers in Washington, looking over their shoulder? On August 6, 2025, reporters filled the conference room and Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, stood next to President Trump, delivering a carefully rehearsed promise. He says Apple is committing an additional $100 billion to the United States, bringing the total investment to $600 billion over the next 4 years. It sounds patriotic, like the kind of thing you'd hear in an election year. He talks about how Apple supports 450,000 jobs, mentions how they've built 24 factories in 12 states, and how 19 billion chips will be made in America. But buried in the applause is the real story. Apple's announcement of the American Manufacturing Program is about controlling the supply chain for components, not only making phones. They signed a deal with Corning to make glass in Kentucky, Broadcom and Texas Instruments to produce semiconductors, and Global Wafers and TSMC in Arizona to keep chip manufacturing on American soil. To the public, it looks like a company responding to tariffs and tech nationalism. But zoom in closer. These deals aren't temporary collaborations, they're more strategic alliances with a focus on the guts of technology, like silicon, rare earths, and high-end optics. It might look like Cook gave in to political pressure, but in reality, Apple used that pressure as cover to build something much bigger. 6 months before the political handshake, Apple made its real move. They mentioned something in an earnings call, a causal line about investing $500 billion over 4 years in the United States AI infrastructure, and this line turned out to be the cornerstone of Apple's next empire. At the center of it is a 250,000 square foot AI server facility in Houston, Texas. Bear in mind, this is not a warehouse for iPhones or a server farm for iCloud backups. This place is built for one purpose only: artificial intelligence. Apple Intelligence is Apple's AI platform, and it doesn't work like Google's or Microsoft's. It is designed to live in someone else's cloud. It lives on Apple's own private infrastructure. To make that real, Apple began laying the groundwork for a full AI ecosystem across the US. They launched a nationwide hiring push, bringing in 20,000 engineers focused on AI and chip design. In Detroit, they opened a manufacturing academy to retrain factory workers and suppliers on next-gen skills. In states like Iowa, Nevada, North Carolina, and Oregon, they expanded data centers to handle on-prem AI workloads. They also doubled down on their partnership with TSMC to make Arizona a new hub for advanced chip fabrication. Apple was rewriting the blueprint by rebuilding the entire tech stack, from silicon to server racks, on American soil. And here's what makes it even more striking. This wasn't about making iPhones cheaper. This was about taking control of artificial intelligence at every layer. Every fortress needs a weapon, and Apple's weapon is made of code. At WWDC 2025, Apple announced something called Metal 4. Most people skipped past it because it sounded like just another update for game developers. But inside Metal 4 was something powerful. Apple had turned its graphics engine, Metal, into a full-blown AI development platform. With this update, AI tensors became native objects in Metal. Real-time inference was baked directly into GPU pipelines, and upgrades to Metal FX and ray tracing laid the groundwork for advanced mixed reality applications. In plain English, Apple made its devices natively fluent in AI. Metal 4 works hand in glove with Apple Silicon. It stretches across every device, like Macs, iPhones, iPads, and even the Vision Pro. And this is where Apple's dual AI strategy comes into play. First, there's on-device AI. This is the infantry. These are the small, nimble AI models that live right on your phone. They don't need an internet connection. They don't send your data to the cloud. They're fast, private, and always on. Then there's On-Prem AI. This is the artillery. These are the heavyweight models running on Apple's own server farms. They handle complex tasks, things like video editing, professional audio, or real-time environment mapping in Vision Pro. Here's what's amazing. Apple has cut off the middlemen completely, abandoning Nvidia's cloud GPUs and Google AI pipelines. Meta 4 has made it possible for Apple to control the very layer that bridges software and hardware in the AI stack. Think of it like Apple building its own version of CUDA, but closed, proprietary, and ruthlessly optimized. It's faster, it's tighter, and most importantly, it belongs to them and them alone. Well, it won't be an overstatement to say Apple is building a fortress. An AI fortress with 3 powerful layers. First, there's the political shield. By signing itself with Washington and playing the Patriot card, they won public support, dodged tariffs, and secured a favorable tax term. Second, there's the physical foundation. Apple rewired the American supply chain from end to end by locking in chip manufacturing in Arizona, setting up massive AI infrastructure in Texas, and building data centers and training new workforces across the Midwest. And third, here's the technological spear. With Metal 4 and Apple Silicon, they created an AI stack that's vertically integrated top to bottom. Apple's $600 billion is a blueprint for the next American tech empire. While others are outsourcing, licensing, or renting computing power, Apple is saying, we'll build it here, and we'll own the future. Because for Apple, this isn't just about staying ahead, it's about making sure no one else ever catches up. If this blew your mind, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. What do you think Apple is really planning next?